Welcome my good smelling friends, Ify here with yet another video. Today's topic, as you have probably read the title, is why haven't I done any videos about clones lately? Well guys, there are a couple of reasons. Now lots of you guys left comments in my videos recommending all sorts of clones. And I also know that lots of you guys have enjoyed watching my videos regarding clones, especially the ones that I did a couple of years ago. But a lot has changed since then. And by a lot has changed, I mean there are now a lot of companies that are making clones. It's so many that it's really hard for me to keep up with all the clones. I mean, you've probably seen them, especially the one that has a commercial on Facebook, you know, those copycat fragrances. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous if you think about it. Even designers are cloning each other's fragrances. So keeping up with all these companies, with all these clones, it's really hard. And you know what? The difference between one clone released by a company and another clone released by another company, it's not really such a big difference, you know, so at some point you're getting almost the same fragrance. So for me it's not just a really hard task to keep up with all these clones. It will be a really bad investment. And not just for me, for you as well. For example, if you're after a specific scent and if you keep buying clones hoping to get like a really good one, and you end up buying like 2-3 clones, and if you sum those up, it will charge you for as much as it would charge you for getting the real thing. And for me it will be a really bad investment, because I would get all these clones, all these fragrances which will just keep space on my shelf and in the house, and I won't be able to resell them or, you know, get some of the money back that I spent on buying them. As for example, if I were to get the real thing, I would decant maybe part of it, get some of the money back, or maybe I would be able to resell it at some point, because people are interested in buying those kind of fragrances, but they are not interested in buying second-hand clones. And some of these clones aren't really that cheap. I mean, there are clones that are as expensive, if not more expensive, than the real thing. You know, it was much easier back then because there were a bunch of clones which were really good, which I didn't feel sorry getting them because I kept using them, you know, not just spraying them on me, wearing them like my fragrance, but I could actually use them in multiple videos, in making YouTube videos. But you know, now I'm getting a clone and then I have to get another and another and another, because I have to compare them to see which one is the best clone. And when you have to compare like 10s and 20 clones of the same fragrance, it's really a bad investment. And also for you guys, I recommend sticking with the good ones, with the popular clones, which are not just recommended by me, but by multiple reviewers. And by the way, if you want me to make a video like the best of the best clones that I have experienced throughout my fragrance journey, I could make such a video. It will help you and it will be fun for me. Another option would be for me to create like a Patreon account and you supporting me financially for getting like all those clones and keeping you guys updated with the best clones out there. Even so, I would still consider it a bad investment, but it will be your money and you will decide what I do with it. But even so, after all I've said, that doesn't mean that I've stopped like at all making videos about clones. Once in a while I will get my hands and my nose on a really good clone, and when I do, I will be glad to make a video about it. Lately I found myself spending more time into doing a proper research into finding treasures, like really hidden gems of a fragrance. Fragrances that are not expensive, that are original smelling, and that are overall great fragrances for the price. Or pointing out designer or popular fragrances which are really worth the investment. For example, like this fragrance. Fragrances are being released one after another. They're not all great. I've bought fragrances that were recommended by other reviewers and fragrances that were released recently, and I have to say I was really disappointed. And to recommend you, each and one of those fragrances which are released day after day, it would be not my style, and also it would be a really bad investment for you guys. So yeah, that's mainly why I haven't done videos about clones lately. And when I say clones, I also refer to the Middle Eastern companies, Latafa, Al Zafran, Al Haramain, Rasasi included. Because when you talk about those companies, you mainly refer to clones because that's what they are specialized in doing. There are exceptions, of course. There are some fragrances released by those companies which are like genuine smelling, which are not clones, and they are very good. But let's admit it, when you're talking about those companies, you're mainly referring to clones. But again, I'm not excluding them from my fragrance journey, and I'm not excluding clones from my fragrance journey. I'm just not going to be talking too much about them. And that was it, guys. I hope everything is clear now, and I hope you are still going to enjoy my videos, which, by the way, I have a bunch coming up. And until those videos, you know what you have to do. Just keep smelling great.